Hello guys, welcome to Coding Cafe. My name is Muhammad Ali and in the previous tutorial we have completed the account settings. The settings activity for a user. Now a user can, whenever a user create a new account, the user has to set their profile picture, name and bio from the account settings activity. Now the next thing which we want to do is to basically now allow a user to search for different people. So come here and let's just open our files quickly. So go to the find people activity and also open the findpeople.xml file. We have our recycler view and everything that we have already added to the related to the design. And the next thing is to, when a user basically type here something that is, let's say, a, then we will fetch and or you can say retrieve all the users whose name starts from a. And let's say if a user want to search for a specific user, let's say Ali, ali, the user will type ali, and all the people whose name is equals to, whose names contain ali, ali, then they will fetch and you will display all of those users here on this page. Let's say if a username is John, then we will display all the user whose name contain John. John. Okay, hope you understand this. So for that, what we want to do is, this is our edit text, okay, and we have already cast this here. So for that, when a user write something inside our this search edit text, then we have a built-in function which is by the name add text changed, add text change listener. Okay, so whenever text change inside this, then it will basically inside we have three more built-in functions. First you have to click this one, which is text watcher, so it will basically watch the text. And here now if I show you these three built-in functions, one is the before text change, on text change, and after text change. So we will be using this one, which is on text change. So whenever a user types something, okay, or let's say a user removes something from here, then this method will be automatically called, okay, which is on text changed. So what we're going to do is we need to get the text from here. So first of all we have to say that is if search edit text, we have to get the text first, get text dot to string. If this is equals to null, then in that case what we want to do, we just want to display that please write a name to search. Okay, just to display a toast message, please write a name to search, or whatever specific message you want to print here. Write name to search or whatever you want. Okay, please write name to search. And the next thing which we need to do is that if a user writes something, then in that case what we need to do, we have to search for that specific keyword, okay, which I already explained how it will work. It will work just like a live search. Okay, a user will just type things, alphabets, and it will display the results here at the here on our recycler view. So inside this else we write that code. So for that, first of all, what we need to do is we need a string. Let's quickly initialize a string type variable, and we can give it name as str and initialize it with null. So now by using this object which is char sequence, okay, maybe in your case the name of this this object is different, okay, maybe it is something like char sequence, okay, like this, or whatever the name of this is, you have to just copy this name which is char sequence. This will basically get the text, so we have to say that char sequence, which is this name, okay, this object name which I already changed in front of you guys. So in your case maybe the name of this is different, so you need to just copy this name and paste it here. So we have to get text dot to string. Now basically this char sequence get the text which a user will type here. Okay, so it will get that text, and now we want to store that text inside our str variable that we initialize above with a null. So once we get that, now we have to on the basis of this string we have to write a query. So only, I mean, to perform a query on it and retrieve only the users whose name contains this, let's say first name or second name, whatever it is, let's say John Parker, John Peterson, John Mark, whatever it is. Okay, so if a user type John, then it will retrieve all the people whose name contains John. So in order to write a query for that, and also one thing which I want to mention is that let's say if this str is empty for the first time, so in that case we will display some users, let's say, which will be like the suggested users or whatever it is. Okay, so let's say if we have millions of users, then in that case the user must type some specific names for which the user is searching. So in that case we will display only that specific users. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, let's create our own start method. Inside this on start, let's write our Firebase recycler options, and here we need to pass our model class, which is by the name contacts. By the way, we have not created that class. Okay, it is not the required one. First let's create that model class. So click right click here, new and Java class, and the name of this class will be contacts. Then press OK. So this is our class. Now here what we need to do is to basically write all the names which our user not contain for a specific user, that is the image, name, status, uid. You must write exactly these spellings. Okay, so name, status, image and uid. So let's just do that. String name, we have image, status, uid. Now the next thing which we need to do is to build a constructor, initial constructor with no parameters. So generate constructor, and you must not select any of these. Okay, so make sure to uncheck this, just select this one. Okay, and then press OK. So constructor with no parameters. Then we need a constructor with parameters. So constructor, select all of these, click OK, and then getter and setter for all of these four variables. So generate getter setter, select all, press OK. Here you can see it. Now let's just come back here, and here we need to pass our this context model class, which is this one, com example.skype clone. Okay, and let's initialize with options equals to initialize it with null, and then we can say if str dot equals to null. If str is equals to null, then in that case what we want to do, we just want to display all the users that is in our database. Okay, let's say, I mean, you can take this as a suggested users. Okay, if a user do not want to search anybody. Okay, so we will display all the users here. So for that we can say, or let's say, I mean, if the str, I mean, if this edit text is empty, then in that case what you want to display here. So it is totally up to you, I mean, whatever you want to display here. But in my case, I mean, let's just add a query in which we will display all the users that in our database. So then when a user want to search for a specific user, then the user will write name here, let's say John. Okay, and then it will display only those users whose name contain John. So inside this we can just say options equals to new Firebase recycler options dot builder class contacts here. Then we have to set our query, so we can say set query, and we want to set a reference on our users node. Okay, on this node, which will display and retrieve and display all the users. So first let's create a reference to a database. So here we can say private database reference, we can give it name as users ref, and then in here in our on create we can say users ref equals to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference dot child, and the child name is users. That's it. Now just come down here and pass the user reference here, and we have to pass our contacts, which is our model class that will get the child users, and we can access basically our data for each user using this model class. Okay, so context dot class, we can say dot build and then put a semicolon here. So this is a query for retrieving all the users. Now if str contains some things, that is, let's say a user type Ali or John or Muhammad Ali or whatever the name the user type, let's say Joseph or whatever. So for that we have to write a query. So I mean, instead of typing it, let's just copy paste this. Okay, and then we have to change our query. So user reference, and we are going to search by the child, order by child dot order by child, and the child name is name. That is, we are performing the search on the name. Okay, and then for that dot order by child name, and then what we want to do is just break this in parts so that we can understand. Dot order by child name dot start at pass the str, which is the use, I mean the string which a user will type. Okay, let's say it contains John, or let's say it contains the name Muhammad Ali, and any name which a user will type. Okay, the start at, and then we can say dot end at, and then pass str to it and concatenate it with this Unicode, which is slash utf, sorry, it is uf at ff. Okay, so order by child name dot start at, and then dot end at this, comma contact dot class dot build. So make sure to type exactly which I just wrote here. Okay, this is the Firebase way of writing a query. I mean, when we want to retrieve specific data from the database. Now once it is done, the next thing which we want to do is outside this else statement. Now we have to display the data. I mean, this is the query. Now according to that, when data is retrieved, we have to display it. So for that we can just say Firebase recycler adapter, which is this one, then pass the context model class. The second parameter, it needs our this inner class, which is public static class. Okay, so copy this name and pass this here. Now I will tell you what this is basically. Now these are the fields, these are the fields on which we are going to display our data. So yeah, I mean, that's it. Now the next thing we can say Firebase recycler adapter equals, let's move to the next line so that we can see the code easily. New Firebase recycler adapter. Alongside with that, these two methods are created, which is onBind view holder, onCreate view holder. Now first of all, make sure to put a semicolon here. Now one thing which I need to mention here is that this specific built-in function, which is onCreate view holder, here you can see these are our fields, but we have not yet accessed our that design, which is, now this is basically the contact design. If I show you, which we already created in the previous few tutorials. Okay, so we have to connect that. Already we have initialized your fields inside, I mean, the static class. Now how to connect it? We have to connect it using this onCreate view holder. Now I will just tell you how to do that. Remove this return null from here, and here you can create a view. Let's initialize it. I mean, the object name will be view layout in flatter dot from, and here you can see we have this view group, and the name of this is parent. So copy it and paste that parent name here, and then we can say dot get context. Now some of you, as I told you, I mean, in many cases the view group object name will be different. Let's say in your case the name will be view group starting with small v. Okay, so you can just copy that name. I mean, it does not depend. Look, you can also change the name of it. Let's say I'm going to give it the name p. Okay, so then here I have to just pass this p dot get context. Now I am telling this because many people, I mean, who are new to Enter Studio, they do not understand from where we are getting this p. Okay, because in some cases many people get a different name here by default, and then they do not know what we want to write here. I mean, what we write here, they do not understand this. So anyways, I mean, let's just complete this. Now here we have to access our layout inside this input. So r.layout dot, and our layout name is contact design, comma p, comma false, and make sure to put a semicolon here at the end. And what we need to do next is to pass this to our find friends view holder, which is our static class. Let's give it name as view holder equals to new, because our this find, as I told you earlier, this find friend view holder class contains the, I mean, their controllers, or you can say the edit text, etc. I mean the text to image view, etc. If I show you, then these are okay. You can also check their IDs which we connected here. So I mean, you have to we have to, I mean, you can say that now this friend view holder know that these things belongs to our this contact design. So we have to pass here. So anyways, find friend view holder and pass the view to it, which contains our contact design, and then we have to return the view holder. That's it. Now once it is done, just come here, and inside this onBind view holder we have to get basically that each specific data, that is name, image, etc. And then inside this onBind view holder we have to display that, I mean to get and display that data on our text view, image view, edit text, whatever it is. So here we have to pass our query, which is stored inside this options, okay. And then inside this onBind view holder you can see we have our this find friend view holder class, and the object which is created by default is by the name find friends view holder. Let's just I mean replace it with our own name, custom name holder, okay. And then we can say holder dot username text dot set text. Now this username text is our text view where we are going to this one. Let me just tell you once more time, this one, okay. We have our text view, then we have this image view, and then this button. So anyways, we can say set text, and by using this variable, I mean this object name, which is our model class object, which is by the name contacts, okay. So if you want, you can change the name of it to anything you want. That is, let's say model, I mean this is the object name. You can give it any name you want, but you have to access that using this, okay. So model dot get name, and to display the picture we have to use the Picasso dot get dot load, and the URL is stored inside our model dot get image, and we have to display it on our holder dot user, what is the name of it, profile image view, okay. So we have to display it on our profile image view, holder dot profile image view. Now one thing is that here, I mean when we retrieve this, we do not want to display this call button on our search when a user searching for specific user, because let's say if they are not friends with each other, then you are not going to allow user to call it. I mean only friends can call each other. So for that, what we want to do is come here, and when we say that after, I mean inside our find friend view holder, we can just simply say that video call button dot set visibility to gone, view dot gone. And when a user click on the item, that is this item, let's say here will be different user. So when a user click on any specific item, any specific user picture or whatever it is, I mean whatever the item is, let's say there will be user like John Parker, Muhammad Ali, and any different user. So whenever user click on any specific item, then we will redirect the user to the profile page of that specific user on which an online user will click. So For that, here inside our onBind view holder, we can say after this that holder dot item view dot set on click listener, new on click listener, and we want to send a user to a page which we will create, and that page is basically our profile activity. So let's just create that quickly. Activity and empty activity, and it will be by the name profile activity. Click finish, and once it is created, let's just go back to here, and we can say intent equals to new intent. We are on the find people activity dot this. We want to send the user to the profile activity dot class, and we have to send some data alongside with it, so intent dot put extra. Now the first thing which we want to send is the ID of this user. Let's say I am now online, my name is Muhammad Ali. Okay, so I have my own specific ID. I'm going to click on Peter Parker profile. Okay, so I am a visitor of Peter Parker profile. So let's give it specific name, and then you have to use this specific name also on the profile activity when we will retrieve, when we will get this data on our profile activity. As you know that we are now sending from here, so we can give it name as visit visit user ID, and then we have to pass the, and we have to get that ID, that specific ID on which a user will click. So for that, here we can create a string type variable, and let's give it name as the same name. Let's just give to it visit user ID equals to get ref, the second one. Okay, get ref, and here you can see it will receive a parameter position, that is that item position on which a user will click. So we have to get position by using this int I variable. Okay, so if you want, you can give it a specific name to this object position, and then pass that here position, get reference dot position dot get key. And now you can just pass this visit user ID to it. Now two more things which you will pass is the image and profile name. So copy, paste two more times, and then we can say profile underscore image, and then the profile name, so we can say profile underscore name. And for image we have model dot get image, for name we have model dot get name, and then we can send the user finally start activity for the to the intent, which is our profile activity. Now in order to retrieve this on the profile activity, we have to go to the profile activity, and we have to receive these values here. Let's just create quickly variables, string type variable here, string, and by default it is private, but if you want, you can also type like this private to make it private. Receiver ID, just store this inside these variables. Okay, use the same spelling, the same names, because when we will be working on the send friend request, cancel friend request, decline friend request, then I will explain the reason behind these specific names. Okay, because one will be the sender, the other will be the receiver, and so on. So anyways, receiver user ID, then we have another one which will be, make sure to initialize it with null. Okay, just copy paste this. So receiver user ID and receiver user image, then the receiver user name, ID image name, and then here we can say receiver user ID equals to get intent dot get extra dot get, and here we have to pass that specific key, I mean this one, okay, from where we are sending it. So anyways, first let's complete this, then we will assign the IDs to it. Second one is the receiver user image. Third one is the receiver user name. So for the user ID, we are sending it by this visit user ID. So copy this and paste that here, and then we have user image. So it is by the name profile image. Then the third one is profile name and receiver user name. Okay, so that's it. Now one thing which we want to do quickly in this tutorial, I mean let's also finish that. First close these remaining things from here and just profile activity and its XML file to basically display these image and name alongside, I mean on our this profile activity. So let's just design this quickly. So first of all we need image view for displaying the image. Okay, so image, it will be match parent, and let's add a source to it, and it will be profile image. Scale type will be center crop, and let's add ID to it, so it will be background profile underscore view. Now we need a text view for displaying the username. So text view match parent rep content text. Here we will display the username, and the text color will be color primary. Text size will be 28 dp, and the max line will be 2. Text style will be bold, gravity will be center, and let's move it to the center. So we can say center in, it is by name layout, center in parent. Why it is not appearing? Let's just move. Oh, okay, first of all, I mean make sure to change this constant layout to the relative layout. Okay, now we have to move this to the center, I mean to the parent center. So we have to write center in parent to true. Here you can see it. And then the next thing which we want to do is to give it ID. The ID will be name underscore profile. Then we need a button which will be for sending friend request, add friend. So it will be match parent rep content. Let's give ID to it quickly. It will be add underscore friend. Text size 16 dp or 16 sp, I mean for the text all caps, false. Text color will be white, so Android white, and this button must below our this text name profile. So just pass this ID here. Okay, here you can see margin from the top 35 dp, and then margin left will be 35, margin right will be 35, margin from bottom, but I mean there is no need to give margin from the bottom, but anyways margin bottom 12 dp. Yes, I mean there is need of it from the bottom, because now we have to add another button for the cancel friend request. Okay, I mean, let's just add that the visibility for which by default will be invisible, I mean gone. So background color for this will be color primary, and the text will be add friend, padding 5 dp. Now let's just copy paste this button code, I mean this button XML code, and then we have to another one which is decline friend request, and this will be below our add friend button. Here you can see it. Layout from the top will be 1. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Now the next thing is yeah, I mean, here we have to say that cancel friend request, and one thing is to set the visibility, so visibility will be gone. Now let's just quickly add these. Okay, so background profile view, you can say private. We have an image view. Let's just access it by the on name here quickly. So then here we can say find view by id or dot id dot and pass this same id here. Okay, then we have our name profile, copy it, which is basically a text view. So you can say private text view, then here we can say find view by find view by id. Let's just copy paste this one more time. Okay, 2 times because we have 2 buttons. And let's just quickly come here and we have add friend button. So private button add friend, comma, and add friend button, and make sure to pass the id here, add friend. And then we have another one which is decline friend request button. So copy it first after this comma and put a semicolon, and then the third one which is for decline request, decline friend request. That's it. Let's just display the image on our image view. So we can say background profile view dot set. No, I mean for image we have to use the Picasso. We can set the image using Picasso. So we can say Picasso dot get dot load, because our background profile view contains the image URL dot into, and we want to display it. Sorry, this one, I mean, which is receiver user image contain the URL, and we have to display it on our background profile view, which is an image view. And for displaying the name, we have what is the name of it? It is name profile text view. So name profile dot set text and pass the receiver username to it. That's it. Now let's just test the application. Now before, one thing which I just remember is that before running the application, I already run it. Okay, anyways, so one thing which I forgot to add is that to set the recycler view on our adapter, Firebase recycler adapter, we just forgot that one step on our find people. Okay, so come here, and when we say that after this find friends view holder, here you can see we have this. Okay, this curly brace, this semicolon. After this you can just type the list, find friend list, which is our recycler view, and then we can say set adapter and find the Firebase recycler adapter to it. and then we have to say that Firebase recycler adapter dot start listening. Okay, we just forgot to add these. So now you can run the app again. So the app is running now again successfully. Here you can see it. Also, let's just go to the database. So currently we have three users. One is Muhammad Ali, one is Muhammad Ali Sher, and the other one is John Parker. So if we just test it, let's go to the find friends. Okay, so when we do not write anything here, then it must display all the user. Okay, here you can see it. We have not yet write anything, and these are the users: Muhammad Ali, then Muhammad Ali Sher, and then John Parker. By the way, I mean, for the designing purposes, add some padding from the bottom for our recycler view. Okay, so anyway, this is just the design. So now here you can see, if I click on Muhammad Ali, and here you can see it sent me to Muhammad Ali profile, and here we have this add friend button. Now if I just go back, here you can see the remaining ones. Okay, first let's just check this one. Okay, Muhammad Ali share add friend, and then the last one, which is John Parker. If we just click on it, here you can see John Parker add friend. Let's just go back, and now let's just test the searching feature. So if I just type here, let's say capital J, then why it is not working? Okay, it is not working. Okay, for Ali it is working, but if we just remove everything, then it says display this, please write name to search. Okay, but it is not working for the other ones. Let's just go back, come here again, let's just type it now. It is not getting the text. We have to check the code for this. So come here to the find people, and I think we just forgot something. Yeah, I mean, when we type something, then basically this store that inside our str variable. Now here we have to call our onStart method, which we forgot to call from here. Now just run the app again. So just a small thing which we forgot to add. Okay. So the app is running now successfully. Let's just go to the find people, and now we will see if it is working or not. So here you can see it retrieve all the users. Okay, and now I'm going to type J, and here you can see John Parker. If I just type, let's say, capital M, then it will retrieve all the users whose names start from capital M. Here you can see it. Now also, if you type, let's say, John, then John Parker, and now we have to test. If we click on this item, it will send us to John Parker profile page. Okay, John Parker add friend. Let's just go back and now search for specific user. I mean, by searching full name. So I'm going to type Muhammad. Okay, now we have two user whose name starts from Muhammad. Okay, it is Muhammad Ali and Muhammad Ali Share. Okay, if I just want to search for, let's say, Muhammad Ali Share, then here you can see only one user whose name is this one. Okay, Muhammad Ali Share. If you just click on it, here you can see it. Profile page, I mean, this is the profile page of Muhammad Ali Share, and this is the button. And as I told you, if you just remove all the text, then it will display all the users as a suggestions on our page. So yeah, that's it for this video, and in the next video tutorial what we will be doing is that we will basically work on the add friend and cancel friend request features. So we will allow users to send friend requests to each other and become friend with each other, and once we do that, then we will finally work on the video chat feature. So that's it for this video. See you guys in the next video. Bye for now.